What is up? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day out there in Charlotte, North Carolina. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day and it is not too cold out there for you. I have had a beautiful morning today. Still in bed, still not really moving too much, so I don't really have to take the kids to school, which is amazing, which is an amazing perk of having an injury. It is exciting. I got to do some research. So I did some wonderful research for two of my favorite tickers. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. But before we get started, type in a one if you yourself are a Gen Z or you have a child or a sibling, cousin, whatever. If you know anyone that is a Gen Z. Now, for those of you that don't know what Gen Zs are, they're anywhere between 10 to 25 years in age. Type in a one if you know any of these people, and I will tell you a wonderful story. Okay, I've got a couple of ones. Exciting, exciting. Okay, cool. So I had a meeting with my hiring manager yesterday for our hotels, and Jay had said, we need to evolve and we need to hire a new younger generation and blah, 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 blah. And we ended up with 3 people that are 18, managing front desk and housekeeping. And I was so blown away because these children, I mean, technically they are kids. These children are so focused on what they want to do, what they want to learn. They do not want to waste money on college education. They are absolutely focused. They want to do hotels as their career and they want to learn from experience and don't believe in racking up debt, and I just thought that was such a wonderful, I wish somebody shook me down and told me to do exactly the same thing 10 years ago. I was so proud of that generation. So where, everyone's looking at them in a different perspective, I just thought this was such a wonderful thing to share with you guys. So definitely give them a high five for not wanting to get stuck in this circle that everybody thinks that we should be. So yeah, smart kids, says Faze. Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, let's start the day, guys. It is a pretty flat day out there. Pretty flat. Nothing going on. I see Woodshed William is here, and yesterday him and I went long. Actually, I beat him to it, but we went long off of these levels right here, and my target was the 10 EMA right here. And despite Woodshed not approving, I did have to get out over here. I got trailed out, actually, not by choice, but he is going to want to hold it for a lot more longer. And I absolutely agree. If this thing turns into a double bottom, I agree. Unless this thing turns into a wave 4, flags, and kind of breaks down, I think we could go a little tiny bit higher. The RSI is kind of low, but it all depends on how and which direction the market goes, the overall direction, just in general. Still, it's just been super flat. As you can see, a lot of our pre-market lines are just going to be small boxes. If you guys were in the meeting yesterday, I kind of discussed that. So definitely, we'll go over that strategy again today as well. But anyway, let's go look at, I kind of pulled up a couple of cool tickers, and I just thought it was so interesting that it was behaving in a certain way. So let's go look at something that I really liked was JP Morgan. All right. Now, these may not be fun tickers for excellent day trades today, or they may turn into excellent day trades. I'm not sure, but this guy, I couldn't help looking. I think they had earnings, or I don't know what it was, but some news came out on it, and CNBC just kind of sent me a notification, and I looked at it. Otherwise, JPM isn't really a ticker that I absolutely love to look at for day trading. So, but back in the day, guys, I made a killing with puts on JP Morgan. So that was, here we are. This is a perfect 10 EMA strategy play. There is bear divergence right here. bull divergence right here. So there is divergence right there where the stock is moving higher and the RSI is not. That just means the bulls are tired a little tiny bit. So if you guys wanted to do a bear call spread, I'm waiting for the markets to open and I can't wait to see what this has as in terms of premiums. On a weekly though, guys, there is this double bottom. So definitely keep an eye on this as some sort of a target. So the 20 EMA on the weekly should be some sort of a target for sure. So definitely keep an eye on that level. If you guys want to set that up, I will be setting something up and I'll post it in Slack or on TradingView. Either way, you will have access to it. But really, really like this. The trend is broken. It did make a new low comparatively, just a little wick down, but it did make a new low, did fill this gap and just kind of sort of bounce. So I like this a lot for a bear call spread. Another one of my favorite tickers is Oxy. There's some news about oil today. I don't know what it is, but there is some news about out there, and oil is dipping today. And Oxy, friends, is gapping below the 20 EMA right here. So it's fair to say that it's going to come back into this trend line that's happening right here. For sure. And it is a weekly 10 EMA setup if this candle closes like this by the end of this week. So definitely keep an eye on this. Plus the divergence is undeniable here. So if you guys wanted to do a bear call spread here or just invest in some puts, if you have a position in Oxy, look for protection. I think this could certainly pull back to 60. And that's a good, that's a good play. Within a week or so. So if I were to do it just with put options, I would do it with puts expiring in 2 to 3 months. So I just wanted to point this out to you guys. Hopefully you find it helpful and we can set up some fun trades with it. All right, if you guys have any other tickers that you would love to look at, definitely give me a shout out. Otherwise, we're gonna go back to SPY and the Qs and we will check it out. All right, yesterday, fully well did not expect it to be a bear day. I thought we were going to break out, and that is not happening, friends. So with that in mind, I think, I'm not really ultra bearish or bullish until we take this guy out. This would be a pretty good indication of this was a false move up and we're getting rejected at the trend line. Depends a lot on what happens today. I think today is just pancake flat. It's really flat. But it looks to me like we retested the 10 EMA on the hourly, and then we're coming back down. Let's go look at Momo and see what that's doing. I think Momo everywhere was turning red yesterday. So yesterday, Momo on a lot of tickers, I think, was turning red. So yeah, so unless the trend changes, I'm not really looking to make any exciting moves, if you will. So yeah, that's my analysis on SPY. I will look for bear plays below this hammer. I will look for bear plays if we take out the pre-market low, and we will take it from there. We'll see where it goes. So that's the analysis on SPY. The Qs are doing exact same thing. Nothing really significant here on the Qs. It's just, it's all doing the same thing as the SPY. Here's the hourly chart on the Qs. And, I feel like if we S-curve on down, it'll be okay. I will tell you though, we take out the support level and got bought up right away, I think it would be a pretty spectacular trap here. So definitely do not go all in and super excited if we take out this level and just sort of wick bottom. I mean, it is prime candidate for a trap right now with a low RSI currently. So, if we take out that low and the RSI does something like this, I think it could easily just bounce off and trap some bears. So keep an eye on it. Do not go too heavy on any position. Do not count on, wait for the trend to set up. Today just happens to be one of those days that we need to wait for the trend to set up rather than run all in. So let's go look at Apple real quick. Apple on the daily. it looked a little tiny bit promising when we took this candle out. Now, guys, on a lot of tickers, I think when we take this big green candle out, this was the news candle, this is the SPY and the Q's big green push up, right? So when we take this candle out, I think it's going to be a significant event. I think it's going to go collapsing and crumbling down. So keep an eye out for that. But the fact that we're S-curving on to the upside and we're kind of sort of into this trend line is interesting on Apple. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. Let's go look at Apple Weekly. I see some comments in here. Okay, cool. Somebody wants to look at AMD and we will look at that too. Okay, cool. So the weekly is not really, I mean, nothing about this chart is like, oh, I'm super excited, except for this low bear volume and the current bear volume that's coming in. But we gotta give it the benefit of the doubt that this is, December, the holiday season, volume is typically low. It kind of wears out. So nothing super exciting about Apple. I think we just gotta give it a little bit more time before we go in all too heavy. Just like everything else, just no gaps, no real direction in any which way. So we gotta just be patient with it. All right, cool. Let's move AMD up. Now, AMD, guys, is a little tiny bit interesting to me, at least. I think this ticker has a lot of potential to go in either direction. If we look at this on the weekly, we had this guy. Let me get rid of this. We had this guy as the inside candle, and we went higher, but then didn't really hold over there. So we just kind of barely made a wick higher. We do have these perfect tweezer tops over here. And then now we're looking to make a move down. Now, if we get rejected off of this level, so if AMD breaks 71.61, the weekly 10 EMA right here, I think it's going to get really interesting because it is a lot of bulls over here that may want to get out and take their profits. Or if AMD just kind of S-curves up, I am fully well okay with that also. AMD's twin sister NVIDIA has a beautiful chart right now on the weekly time frame. So, if one goes, the other one will go with it. So I am definitely looking forward to what happens on AMD. This is a lot of consolidation. If we look at it on the smaller time frames, it'll be a lot of sideways momentum. So here we go. So check this out. Lots of sideways momentum. And if there's one thing we know, after a lot of sideways momentum, we have a blast off. So here's a good example of that. Sideways momentum and then a blast off. So give it a couple more days. That momentum could end today. I don't know. I mean, AMD could have an interesting day today. So definitely keep an eye on it. Don't get caught sleeping on this guy. I'm going to set some alerts on AMD today and make sure we don't miss certain levels on it. So let me add an alert right here to 71.50 and crossing below. I want to do it crossing down. All right, cool. So if this thing breaks down, I think it could get really interesting. It'll come fill this gap, and that's a pretty decent target on AMD. If this thing doesn't break down, then I think it's setting up for a liftoff into the hundreds. So definitely watch out for this guy. Let's look at NVIDIA real quick before we go down on Roblox and everything else. NVIDIA, in my opinion, I think this is set up for liftoff here. I mean, it's looking really good. At least up to here, there's nothing stopping it currently. I like this setup a lot. We could go, retest this trend line over here. we're trying to break out, and I'm trying to decide if this is like a false wick over here and we come back into it. If we do come back, guys, just know that there's a lot of bulls trapped, just like AMD. So if we come back into this trend line, this is going to get interesting on NVIDIA. I mean, we'll have like a big candle like this on a weekly level. Let's look at some SMAs real quick. Yeah, I think we could really just at least go up to here. If we do have what's called the Santa rally, I mean, I could see this happen. I've been a big fan of NVIDIA lately. It's just been making wild moves. And it's been, it's been pretty beat down. So keep an eye on this on the weekly level. On the daily, let me turn this off real quick. On the daily, I mean, undeniable double bottom, right? We can't deny this. So I would be interested in it if we take this bear candle out to the bull side. I think it could get really fun. And that's a pretty nifty $30 target to the upside. So that's a pretty cool move. As far as day trades for today, I think we're just going to have to sit tight and be patient with this guy. It is one of the stronger ones compared to everything else. So, we have to be patient with this guy. We can't just run into it and start shorting it. If we must short something, then it's got to be Tesla, because it's been one of the weaker ones comparatively, or Amazon, because it's been one of the weaker ones. So, NVIDIA and AMD, I think I'd like to put it in my bull basket versus bear basket. So, just a preference thing. Keep an eye on it. Just set alerts at good levels. There is this daily divergence happening currently, and if that plays out, I mean, we close anywhere below this candle. Let me get rid of this one. We close anywhere below this candle, this thing's gonna come tumbling down. So I am definitely keeping an eye on this, seeing where it goes. Let's go look at it on a larger time frame. 4 hours, we have this trend line ongoing, and we take this trend line out, I think it could get fun in here. So bear and bullish, I think either way, NVIDIA has a potential to go higher or lower, and it could be a fun trade. Roblox. All right, this dude. Gap fill right here, and we're looking to make a new low. It just makes sense for Roblox to come down here and make a new low. Wave count wise, everything just kind of sort of makes sense for Roblox to come down. So I'm not looking for any bullish momentum on this guy. It just keeps retesting these 10 EMAs and 20 EMAs on the daily, and then gets rejected. So and honestly, guys, Roblox, in my opinion, I think it's one of those not necessarily a luxury stock, but one of those frivolous ones, where if I had $5,000 sitting in my account, I'm not going to go put it in Roblox. I would much rather put it in Apple or one of the beat down stocks. So, it's just an opinion. So to me, I think this is a much less in demand compared to some of the dividend paying stocks, just much less attractive currently out there. So yeah, as far as a day trade's concerned, yesterday we had a pretty big bear candle. So, I mean, for Roblox, that's a pretty big move. So I don't want to really just, front run this to the bear side. I wanted to kind of go sort of retest certain levels. 3250 is a level that I would be watching for a turnaround. Let's look at it on the hourly. Yeah, the RSI is low on the hourly. So, a retest of this trend line totally makes sense on Roblox. Let's put this out there. So something like this could make sense. May not go as high as that, but it could certainly make sense. I think it's doable for Roblox. And then we roll back down. And we shall see which way it wants to go. All right, let's go look at Tesla. Tezos. This, oh my goodness, I don't know what's up with Tesla, guys. I have no idea. Maybe it's just been so overbought that it needs to calm down a little bit. Maybe all the bulls in Tesla are just sort of tired for a little bit. It did hold an important level right here of the 180. Today is going to be interesting on Tesla, to say the least. You know, it's not really, it's respecting this inverse head and shoulders, but it's not really breaking out as quick as I would like it to be. My swing trade that I had set up on Tesla, I actually got out. And this is, you know, this is because I'm an impatient trader, and a lot of you know me that way. You know, if it gets anywhere close to my targets, I will get out. So I spotted this inverse head and shoulders on the hourly, and I wanted to get in. So I got in, I think around right here somewhere, or maybe even a little bit lower. I got in at 185, and then and my stop was here. And the next couple of days I was panicking. I was like, well, the next day I was panicking, and I knew I'd get stopped out with this move and all of that. And then we had the Fed's talk and this bull move up. My target was 200 right over here, the next pivot level. My target was 200, and I just got really impatient that day. I had options on it, so I just got really impatient, and I took all at 195. So that was pretty decent. I'm proud of it. I'm glad I didn't get trailed out a little bit lower. So, you know, this goes without saying, if you're close to your targets on an extremely bullish day, take it. Take the gains, because you know that a retest is going to come in after a massive move up like that. We've essentially erased this entire move on Tesla, guys. So I fully well expect Tesla to do something like this and come down, really. And so we have a bounce today and got rejected there. I think Tesla is El Primo candidate for a rollover if that works out. Again, if we just have a bounce up and continue to hold and keep going higher, sure, I'm okay playing it in either direction. But I think if I had to guess the future, I think it would just can kind of sort of do this and then come back down. Be patient on this. Don't run into it. Don't make assumptions. Don't just go fully blindly with anything. 165 coming. I know, right? You know, well, 150 on Tesla. Tesla did a 3-to-1 split, right? Am I wrong or am I correct? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 3-to-1 split. And 150 is $450 pre-split. I never imagined it to be at that level. So yeah, I mean, that's a pretty attractive level. And certain things are definitely coming into some sort of support. They're not coming into support. So, you know, Tesla has if I could just put a box here on the weekly. Where is the box? Here. So between these wicks and this support right here, so all of this support right here and these wicks, Tesla is at an interesting level. Although, guys, I want to show you something really cool on Tesla. Oops, sorry. Yes, we won't look at it on the USD. We also want to move it down. Here is our monthly head and shoulders on Tessie. And the moving averages are crossing over. The 10 and the 20 on a monthly level are crossing over. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bear months in a row. And that's a massive, that's a huge deal for Tesla. That's a big, you know, bear move on Tessie. But guys, could you just play along? Just humor my bear instincts and play along. If Tesla did something like this and rolled over, would you be against it? I don't think so. I think I'd be a big, massive buyer at 120 on Tesla for sure. Absolutely. I'm not saying Tesla's going to 120, tomorrow or day after, I don't know, whatever. But if this Head and Shoulders is validated, guys, this is huge for Tesla. And this is a lot of bearish momentum. So I wouldn't really expect it to just do it right away because it's 5 months of bears, happy bears. If it went up and retested this level, I'd totally be game for shorting it. Or if it went up, broke out of this, went higher, it came back and retested this level, this is a beautiful bull flag, guys. So, it's ready for a liftoff, technically. And right here is where the most volume happened. So up until now, if you think about it generally, up until now, sure, some of Tesla bulls are feeling the pain that bought over here, but these guys are sitting very happy still. So, either way we go, when we go lower, this thing's going to pick up momentum. So it's going to be fun. Tesla's going to have a fun few days coming up. Just watch out and be cautious. You do not want to be shorting at the bottom of this trend line. You want to be shorting, if anything, you want to be shorting up here. So, watch out. This is a weekly double top. It just looks interesting. Let's go look at some of the moving averages before we waste too much time on this. This box 160 is coming right here. And I think I could see a bounce come on over. We go higher a little bit and then come back down. So at 160, I'd be a buyer on Tesla and then look for that retracement and then go lower. Here is our weekly chart. Yeah, I like the 160 level a lot. Whoever mentioned it, great job, guys. Fantastic job. I like that level a lot. I'd be a buyer, to say the least, on it over there, just for that move up and then come back down. Okay, Amazon, yay, our boy Amazon. Yesterday, Jeremy looked at it in the evening room in full depth, not death, depth. Greg says that's an ugly looking chart. That is a very ugly looking chart, guys. That's not a fun looking chart. And I looked at this in the evening room as well. This 3:30 to 5 room as well, the futures room. And, this is not looking very good. It's making lower highs, and I don't know what to tell you. Exact same thing as Tesla, not looking very good. This is where the next level of support is. 80 doesn't hold, guys. This thing's, I don't know where it's going. But then on the other hand, it is Amazon. So I really, truly think that a bounce is coming on these guys, and then we look for a rollover. Not sure when exactly that bounce comes, but these are certain levels to dip your toes in. On the weekly, we do have a weekly Head and Shoulders on Amazon. So this thing rolled down to 80. I wouldn't be opposed to buying some at 80. Okay, it's just my analysis. As far as day trades are concerned, this is why we're talking about long-term stuff in our day trading room, because you cannot have a bull bias. You can't put these things in a bull basket for day trades when they are super ultra bearish on longer time frames. So, if anything, I'm only looking for bear trades on these guys. Tesla, Amazon, super weak. Meta, on the other hand, fairly strong. I think it's been beat down enough where people are like, okay, well, this is an accumulation zone. Could roll over. Again, not saying it can't, but people are sick and tired of shorting it. Some bears are trying to get out of it. So, yep. Full depth seems accurate. True. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but English is not my first language. So a lot of times I will translate something in my head in my mother tongue, and then it'll convert to English, and I'll say it out loud, and it doesn't make sense. So yeah, but anyway, moving on. Looks like we're dipping a little bit, great, but it's just it's a small fluctuation between here and there. 20, 30 points really isn't worth the move we need to discuss. All right, YouTube friends, it has been such an honor to talk you guys through some analysis. I hope you guys have a wonderful trading day out there. I hope you guys stay warm and the winter isn't hitting you hard. In whichever town you are, have a wonderful trading day and good luck out there.